All right, we are here. We're live. We're live. If you're watching this on the replay right now, I'm gonna leave in a timestamp. I'm gonna leave the timestamp in the comment section below, so you can fast forward straight to where I actually get to the point. As of right now, I'm gonna take the first, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Oh Jesus! As of right now, I'm gonna take the first like 2 or 3 minutes just to let people kind of pile into the room, and I'm gonna ramble for a little bit. And while I'm rambling, I'm also gonna send this. I'm gonna send this out on Twitter so that everybody knows that I'm live. So give me just a second. Let's let about 2 or 3 minutes, like I said, pass by to let some more people come in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button as well. Hit that thumbs up for me. And while I'm sharing this on Twitter real quick, I'll give you guys a quick story while people are piling in. Well, first off, I'll say this much right now. Uh, I am a little bit salty right now. And the reason that I'm salty is because right when I'm about to go live, Tariq Nasheed goes live. That ain't good for me. That's not good for me because most people that follow me also follow Tariq. And so that means nobody's gonna be here. Nobody's gonna be watching me live right now. It's not like I draw a huge crowd anyway, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit on the salty side, man. I'm a little on the salty side. I'm like, damn, Tariq. I guess Tariq don't never go live on a Wednesday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, ever. So he just did a random impromptu live show while I'm about to go live. So I'm a little salty about that, but shout out to Tariq. Shout out to that brother. Y'all know I rock with him heavy. And also, what I wanted to say, also, I got this funny story. I can't tell the story and type at the same time. My bad. Let me tweet this out. I'm just gonna make it simple. I'm live right now. Let me make it simple. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. All right. Hopefully that tweet went out properly and I didn't tweet out like a link to something else. Let me check that on my Twitter page real quick. And then we'll get right into it. But while I'm checking that link on my Twitter page, let me tell you this story that happened to me right before we get into it. I believe it was Friday. It was last Friday night. I'm driving, I'm doing my thing, I'm just whipping around the city, driving around LA, and I go to McDonald's, right? There's a McDonald's around by my crib. I pull into the McDonald's and I see police lights on. The police officers were there with the lights on, and they had somebody pulled over in the McDonald's parking lot, right? So they had somebody pulled over in the McDonald's parking lot. I see two of the officers are standing outside of their car, right? And they're both behind the door. So I know what that position is. Like they're kind of shielded. You know what I mean? So it was already off when I pulled up into the parking lot. And it was like 12 o'clock in the morning, something like that. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I see one of the police officers has his hand on his gun. But in my head, like I'm kind of in denial. I'm like he got his hand on his taser. So now I'm driving past. I'm trying to get to the drive-through, and I see one of the other officers on the other side of the driver's side behind the door. He got his gun out and pointed at the car. And then another squad car zooms right past me. They both open their doors and they pull their guns out and they're pointing at the car. Nigga, I whipped out of that parking lot so fast. I was like, no, not today. Not today. Y'all not about to get me today. No. Let me get up out of here quickly with the quickness. And I was gone. I was up out of there real quick. Like y'all not about to get me caught up in this today. So I took off fast. That's enough rambling. It's been about 4 minutes now. Enough people have piled into the room. Let's get into it. Just real quick before I get started. It looks like everybody can hear me clearly for the most part, but just let me know. Just type a one in on the comment section and let me know if you can hear me clearly and hear me good, or just say yeah, I hear you. You know what I mean? Just say something. Just let me know that you can hear me, and also hit the thumbs up button as well. Hit that thumbs up button to let me know that we're all here and present. Hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Okay, perfect. The ones came up. All right, let's get into it. Damn, I wasted a lot of time. 5 minutes. All right. I don't like wasting that much time in the beginning. Anyways, all right, let's get into it, man. So what I wanted to talk about today, right? So I'm working this morning, right? And I'm driving. And for whatever the reason being, this dawned on me and I had to share it with you guys. And I was gonna do like a regular episode where it's not live and it's just audio only, but I just had to go live to get it out the way, right? And I'm thinking about Nate Parker. And I'm thinking about the way Hollywood did him dirty. And as I'm thinking about Nate Parker and how they did him dirty, I'm also putting that into comparison with what we saw recently with Snoop Dogg and Gayle King and yada, yada, yada. And then it all started to come to me rather quickly, right? Everything started downloading to me fast as it pertains to how serious the apology is in Hollywood and how the apology will either make you or break you if they have something on you. Now, I discussed this on my last episode of Not For Real, but I'm going to show you a couple things with Nate Parker. I'm going to show you a couple of video clips and a couple articles concerning Nate Parker. And understand, a lot of us believe that Nate Parker was booted out of Hollywood because he made the Birth of a Nation film, right? We thought he made the Birth of a Nation film. Those of the dominant society, you know, it wasn't really palatable for them. They didn't like how they were being portrayed, the way you had a brother like Nat Turner doing his thing, whooping ass, and basically just taking out a bunch of white folks. And they didn't like that. So they got him out of here. That's what a lot of us kind of tend to think, that it was just the movie alone that got Nate Parker up out of here. But that's not the case. That's not what got him out of here. What got Nate Parker out the paint is that Nate Parker refused to play ball. Nate Parker refused to apologize or show any sort of remorse for the rape case that he was found innocent of. Back in 1999, like most of you know the story already, when he was in college, there was this woman that falsely accused him of rape. He went to court. The jury found him innocent, and he thought he can go on with his life. But as soon as the Nat Turner movie came out, all of a sudden the media drugged that back up from out of the grave, and they wanted him to apologize and show some sort of remorse. But Nate Parker kept standing his ground as a man, saying, no, I'm not apologizing for anything because I didn't do anything. And that's what I want to play for you right now, because I think this is important for us to actually see how this played out with him, so that you understand that if Nate Parker would have just played ball and he would have apologized for something that he didn't do, but just apologized anyway, like you're guilty, you know, or just show some sort of remorse, he would have still been here, man. He would have still been in the game right now doing his thing in Hollywood. But because he wouldn't play ball, they got my man up out of here. So let me get into this first video right now. Let me share the screen with you. Hopefully this works properly, all right? Hopefully this works properly. Let me share this with you and play this video real quick. Share the screen. All right, so you should be looking at this right now. This is called Nate Parker Addresses Rape Controversy at the Birth of a Nation interview. And listen to how this dude that's talking to Nate is asking him to show remorse. And Nate Parker is just like, I don't know, what remorse for what? Nate Parker played it smooth, but just check this out.
You're passionate. You've been passionate about things in your life. Do you understand when people may have a hard time going to see the movie because of your reputation, because of the story, because of, look, do you understand that? Like, do you sort of empathize with that at all? Or listen, it's like it's hard to say. The interesting thing is that you know, I've addressed this a number of times, and I'm sure in future forums I'll address it more. Yeah. But I do feel like, you know, this trip, these next few days is about the film. It's about the other people that put their blood, sweat, and tears in it, and I have to honor them and their work ethic and their blood, sweat, and tears. And I gotta use this as a moment to celebrate them. You know, a lot of them work for very, very, very little. Very little. So this is a reward.
And when you do put so much of yourself into something, what do you possibly do next?
Mm-hmm. Something that makes you want to put the same amount of yourself into.
Will you put this much? Will you do it all again?
All right, that's enough of that. But as you can see right there, this dude Slick tried to add in, hey, you know, how come you should show some remorse. Can you understand why people might not want to see your movie? Because you haven't showed much remorse? Remorse for what? I didn't do anything. I'm not guilty. What would I be showing any remorse for? It doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? Now, let me go to the next video clip. And this was him on, I believe it was Good Morning America. Let me find that clip for you as well. And they played the same kind of game on him. And let me pull that up. Don't show this again. Thank you very much. And on this clip, Nate Parker really stood his ground firm. And you're going to see that right now. Did I pull up? That's the same one. Give me just a second. Nah, I'm over here fumbling around. Now I was going smooth too, wasn't I? Everything was going smooth. Now I'm over here messing the whole stream up. Oh man, okay. Here it goes right here. I got it up for you right now. Anyways, yeah, this was Good Morning America. And check this out, man. Check out the way I forgot what this woman's name is, but look at how she's pressing Nate Parker for an apology and to show remorse. And once again, an apology and a remorse, and you want me to show remorse for what?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very good.
3 days away.
Yeah.
And I know I couldn't help but notice when you were watching the piece and the things that have been resurfaced. And I guess we are going to talk about the film, and of course we're going to talk about the film. But this is a very difficult but necessary conversation for a lot of people. Your reaction to those allegations of years ago, that they just don't feel the empathy, that they don't feel that you have any remorse.
And who are we talking about?
What we're talking about is what happened in 1999 with the woman who is now deceased, who took her own life. And her family and others feel that in seeing your remarks since it's resurfaced, that do you have any remorse? Apologize at all for what happened?
Look, we I was on 60 Minutes last night. We talked about it, 3 days out. I think the important thing is that, this isn't about me. The story of Nat Turner as American people, to know the story about a man who was erased from history, that's, at some point, I think that's where our focus should be, especially now. I mean, so many things are happening in America, especially the last 72 hours. So the hope is that, people care about, America, the story of America, the real story of America that's been so shifted and pushed aside with, revisionist history. And I think that, this is a film that they should see. I really do.
Well, there are a lot of people who want to hear from you to be able to say, okay, are they going to see it or not? It can't really be, I'm sorry, it can't just be dismissed, what happened. It has to be addressed, and then to be able to.
Absolutely.
You have a daughter in college. This is a conversation that's going on.
It's a conversation.
What do you tell her?
Anything I say to my daughter, in love, this is in private. She knows how I feel about her. And I've addressed it so many times. Did you see the 60 Minutes last night?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and I addressed it with Anderson, and we really, and that was the focus of that segment. But 3 days out, at some point, I talked about it, and I keep talking about it. But
you apologize. I guess maybe do you apologize?
Apologize for what? Apologize for what? Look at how she's pressing the issue. She's pulling a Gayle King. The man, apologize for what? I'm sorry for interrupting. Let's continue on. Let me rewind it back.
Talking about that last night,
you apologize. I guess maybe do you apologize?
I talked about that last night. You know what I mean? It's a
not everybody saw last night.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna go right back. Okay, I'm not gonna go through. I'm not gonna. And I've said it, and I said it last night. I was falsely accused. I was proven innocent, and I'm not going to apologize. For that. I feel terribly about that situation, but at some point, we gotta ask ourselves, like, where are we? Is this a film that is important to us?
Exactly. I was falsely accused. I was found innocent, and what would I apologize for? Apologize for what? You know how much that pissed them off. That must have pissed those folks off so crazy that he stood his ground the way that he did. Nate Parker had the audacity to say, look, I was falsely accused. I was found innocent. So apologize for what? I'm not going to apologize for that. He straight up told you, I'm not going to apologize. So understand, this is why he was taken out of Hollywood, because the brother wouldn't play ball. He wouldn't play ball. And now this is where we're going to tie in Oprah Winfrey and Gayle, because they're not clear from this as well. Understand, what you see with the whole R. Kelly thing and what you see with the whole Lisa Leslie thing, they've been running this game for a long time now. They've been doing it for a minute. But before I go too far, because I wanted to remember to tell you this, right? The importance of that apology and them wanting him to show at least some sort of remorse, that's the whole Kobe thing. And I mean that with no disrespect, but hear me clearly. Kobe's case was the criminal charge was thrown out. It was dismissed for numerous reasons, right? With that rape allegation, it was thrown out completely, right? And upon being thrown out, it went to civil court, and Kobe just settled out for I think $1 million or something of that nature, maybe $2 million, right? So they just wanted to get rid of it, and I'm sure that was per his attorney. I said, look, let's just settle this. I see it's bringing you a lot of stress. This is, let's just be done. You got a lot of stuff on your plate. Let's be finished. We'll just settle it. Give her money. Let's give her what she wants. Let's be finished. But Kobe also issued an apology showing remorse. Now, he didn't admit guilt in the apology. And I'm more than sure that apology was not of Kobe's own doing. That wasn't him that said, I want to write this apology letter and put it out publicly. That was the attorney that knows what time it is, letting Kobe know, look, man, you can't just skate out of here and not at least show some sort of remorse. And that's what Kobe's apology letter was all about. It was him attempting to show some sort of remorse for something that he didn't do. Despite the fact that he didn't do it and the case was dismissed, he still had to show remorse if he didn't want to get killed out here by the media. Even though at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, unfortunately, we all know what happened to him in the plane crash, right? He's out of here. And they brought it back up again as if he apologized and confessed to a crime that he didn't commit. He never confessed. He just showed sympathy. And that's what they wanted Nate Parker to do. They just want you to bow just to bow. Bow, man. Bow, boy. Just bow already. Nate Parker refused to bow. Those aren't the only 2 interviews. Nate Parker has maybe about 2 or 3 more interviews where they bring this stuff up. And he's looking at the interviews going, what are you talking about? I got found innocent. What do you want from me? I'm not apologizing. There's no remorse to be shown. Now let's get back to Oprah, right? Let's get back to Oprah really quick. Because like I said, they've been doing this and playing this game a very, very, very long time. So let me pull this article up for you. And I believe it's from the Hollywood Reporter, right? Let me get that really quick. Here it goes. All right, you should have that in front of you right now. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, and the article is titled, Nate Parker's Failed Media Tour, Anger, No Remorse, and Oprah's Advice Ignored. Why, first off, why do they call it Nate Parker's Failed Media Tour? It was the failed media tour because as he was on this media tour to promote his movie, The Birth of a Nation, he refused to apologize and show remorse for something that he didn't do, a false rape allegation that he was found innocent of. And because he wouldn't bow, he refused to bow, it was a failed media tour. Look at the language here. Now let's scroll down to the actual article. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just the key parts that you need to know. Okay, let's go. Winfrey, along with her friend and CBS This Morning anchor Gayle King, was one of the first to see Nate Parker's The Birth of a Nation outside of a festival setting. The women were so enthusiastic that they sent the filmmaker a February 1st Instagram video congratulating him. All right. So February 1st, they congratulated him. Gail and Oprah. They sent him a video on Instagram. They were like, yo, this movie is amazing. We're proud of you, yada, yada, yada. A few months later, this old rape case comes out. And we all know how that played out, exactly like how I showed you with those video clips, right? Now, this is what happens. And I'm just gonna read it to you. Okay. Sources say Winfrey suggested Parker address this matter in an appearance with Gayle King, on her CBS program. All right, I'm going to repeat that again. Sources say Oprah Winfrey suggested Nate Parker address the matter in an appearance with Gayle King on her CBS program. And what does it show right here? I'll highlight it. But Parker declined. He declined. What Gayle King and Oprah were looking to do with Nate Parker is have an R. Kelly moment. That's what they were looking to do. They were hoping that they can have themselves an R. Kelly moment and have Nate Parker out here screaming, yelling, and acting a damn fool, like how they had R. Kelly. That's what they were looking for. And if they couldn't get that, then at least like Lisa Leslie will get some sort of a soundbite. Just give us anything that'll kind of make you look guilty if you're not going to apologize, but give us something that we can use against you. And Nate Parker refused. The brother refused because he knew what time it was with Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. He knew what time it was. He said, I'm not coming on here to do a special with Gayle King so that I can sit here and have to defend myself for something that I did not do. We're not playing that game, and I'm not doing that. And he didn't do it. Now, let me show you this other screenshot as well. Go to Google, right? And type up, I want you to type up in Google. Go to Google and type up, I believe, Nate Parker, Oprah Winfrey. Let me just pull a screenshot up for you right now. Let me just pull it up. Give me a second. Okay. Go to Google, type in, when you're done watching this, type in Oprah Winfrey, Nate Parker. That's all you got to do. Because this just goes to show how the entertainment industry does us. This is how they do black men when you don't want to play ball like Nate Parker, right? Oprah Winfrey, Nate Parker. And look at what you see come up. Nate Parker reportedly refused Oprah's help with damage control. He refused Oprah's help. Nate Parker's failed media tour, Anger, No Remorse. And that was the article that I just read to you. But this is Nate Parker's failed media tour. That was the one that I just read to you, right? Here's another article. It's called Oprah Winfrey Declines to Discuss Nate Parker's Rape Case. What that is, if you read that article, is Oprah Winfrey was on the red carpet promoting some sort of a movie that she was involved with. I think she was a producer of some movie with Ava DuVernay, and she was on the red carpet, and they asked her about Nate Parker, and basically she said, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm focused on this movie premiere, which makes sense. I'm on a red carpet. I'm trying to promote my movie that I produced. We're not about to talk about this other dude right now. But look at how this keeps playing out. Did Nate Parker refuse Oprah Winfrey's help? You see that right there? That's BT.com. Did Nate Parker refuse Oprah Winfrey's help? Birth of a Nation director Nate Parker ignored Oprah. Nate Parker ignored Oprah Winfrey's advice on addressing the matter of rape. Nate Parker, again, ignored Oprah's advice. Look at how they did this, brother. All you saw was article after article after article where they're framing it as if Nate Parker did this to himself, as if he shot his own self in the foot by ignoring Oprah Winfrey's advice. There was no advice to be taken. Oprah Winfrey wanted to take advantage of Nate Parker. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to take advantage of him the same way they took advantage of R. Kelly. I ain't defending R. Kelly, but they took advantage of him. The same way they took advantage of Lisa Leslie. The same way Oprah took advantage of her friendship with Michael Jackson by throwing it in the trash and getting behind the accusers that were clearly lying. This is what they do. And this was back in 2016. So this ain't nothing new. This stuff ain't nothing new, man. This has been going on forever. And I actually forgot to read you one more part of that article. Let me pull it up real quick, because what you're going to see is that when I read this next part of the article that I forgot to leave out, Oprah Winfrey basically shunned Nate Parker after he refused to do the interview special with Gayle King. And I'm going to read that for you right now. Let me pull it up. And while I'm pulling it up, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share this video. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter at tdhiphopmedia, and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And also make sure you hit the bell notification as well, because people say they're not getting notification. So I'm going to pull this up for you. Then I'm going to shut it down after this, because I'm starting to get hot. All this talking has got me burning up. It's always hot in this house when I try to go live and do a video. Let me pull this up again, and I'm going to read this for you. Right? Okay. All righty. Here it goes right here. Just so you can follow along where I'm going to be reading. So you can see, and what you're going to see is that Oprah Winfrey, she shunned Nate Parker once he refused to do the show with Gayle King. Since then, Winfrey has remained mum regarding Parker, meaning she don't got nothing to say about this dude no more. She's done with him. Let's start over. Since then, Winfrey has remained mum regarding Nate Parker, seemingly depriving the filmmaker of an important voice that might have helped him move past the persistent questions that seem to be overshadowing his movie and potentially undermining his career. I'm going to read that again. Since then, Oprah Winfrey has remained mum regarding Nate Parker, seemingly depriving the filmmaker of an important voice that might have helped him move past persistent questions that seem to be overshadowing his movie and potentially undermining his career. Oprah shut his whole thing down. You want to talk about gatekeepers? I saw some of you in the comment section talking about gatekeepers. Yes, gatekeepers, exactly. Exactly. Oprah and Gayle are gatekeepers. When it comes to us, when it comes to black folks, they the gatekeepers. He wouldn't do Gayle's show per Oprah's advice. He didn't want to do it because he knew what time it was. And they shut it down. They shut it down. So that's really all I got to say about that, man. This is how Hollywood destroys black men when they don't want to play ball. Give me just a second. Let me get this towel. Getting hot. Brothers preaching up in here. Hold on now. Giving you that good word. All right? I'm giving y'all that good word up in here. I'm spitting that hot fire right now. I don't know when next time I spit hot fire like this. This don't come to me this good all the time. Got a brother up in here getting hot. Got all the windows closed. There's too much noise outside. All right. So we about to shut this joint down in a minute. We about to shut it down in a minute. Make sure you at least give a brother a thumbs up, all right, on this video. But with all that being said, man, you see how these folks do us out here, man. You see how the game works. And you're seeing how serious the apology is and what that's worth. Nate Parker would have still been here, like I said earlier, if he would have simply played ball. That's all Nate Parker had to do. Shout out to Sherrod Martin. Peace, family. Peace, brother. Shout out to Sherrod Martin, always showing love, always holding it down for me. Thank you so much, Sherrod Martin. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Somebody said, take your time. It looks like I'm rushing. Yeah, I'm rushing because I'm hot. That's why I'm hot. I'll burn it up. But you see how strong and how important that apology is. Nate Parker would have still been here, man. He would have still been here in Hollywood doing his thing if he would have just bowed. But he refused to bow. He was disobedient. He didn't follow instructions. So they were like, all right, bro, you know what? Deuces, you out of here. And we haven't seen him ever since. To Spike Lee's credit, recently, I believe it was last year, Spike Lee co-signed a movie that Nate Parker did. It was an independent film. I wish I remember what it was called. My apologies to Nate Parker, even though I don't know him personally. He's not watching this. I wish I remembered the name of that film. But Spike Lee was a part of it, and he lended his voice to it. And you can tell that Spike was trying to kind of help him get back into the game a little bit. You know what I mean? So you can Google that and look it up. Nate Parker, Spike Lee, independent film. You know, Spike tried to help him, you know, with the little bit of cachet that Spike has. You remember, I believe it was last year, Spike Lee finally won an Oscar. It was either last year or the year before. So, you know, Spike maybe has a little bit of clout now. And he tried to help Nate out, but it didn't work. The independent film that he came out with last year, it got, you know, great. It was critically acclaimed. You know, it was a great film, according to the critics. But they couldn't break it. It didn't work bringing him back into Hollywood. So that brother's pretty much finished out here. And like I said, the brother's finished because he wouldn't play ball. He wouldn't play the game. Brother wouldn't apologize. Held his ground and held it firmly, though. He held it firmly, though. But at what cost? At the cost of his career. So you got to figure, when we look at cats like Snoop Dogg and all these other black celebrities out here, and we're telling them, oh, you should have just did this, and you should have just stood strong and held your ground and don't break and don't fold. You got to understand, like it or not, I'm not co-signing nothing, but you got to understand that's a hard decision for them. That's a hard decision for them. Either fold and look weak in front of your people, or you can stand strong, maintain your manhood and your innocence. Don't bow, but you're out of here. We're going to destroy you. All right? We're going to destroy you. You're out of here. And when you pass, we're going to kill you again. You better believe and knock on wood that it's another 50 years from now, right? And we'll knock on wood, Nate Parker has about a good 50 more years to be on this planet, right? But when that day comes, that Nate Parker transitions in 50 years, right? 50 more years, you better believe, just like Kobe, they're about to bring all this stuff back up again because that's the game that they play. Kobe played the game right. He apologized. He showed empathy. They still threw him under the bus. But he got to keep his NBA career and he got to live out his life up until his tragic death. So, I mean, I guess he had that. Nate Parker, on the other hand, he didn't want to play ball. Out of here. So with all that being said, man, I'm your boy, Tony Delerme. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you get a direct text notification whenever I drop a new video. But it'll also serve as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives my channel the axe. That way I'll be able to send you a direct text message with a link to where you can find me next. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at tdhiphopmedia if I didn't say that already. And last but certainly not least, if you've been rocking with me for a while now, you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you appreciate what I bring to the table by way of brother, please hear me out. And not for real, especially, and also with these videos too. I don't have a title for these kind of videos. I think I just have it listed in my playlist as Lucy's, you know. But if you've been rocking with me for a minute and you believe in what I'm doing and where I'm trying to take this, the number one way you can support me is by showing support on Patreon. It's only $5 a month. And with that, that'll help put me in position to be able to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube and become an independent media platform, independent of YouTube, because that is the goal. The goal, like I always say, is not to grow big on YouTube. It's to grow independent of YouTube. So show love on the Patreon, man. It's only $5 a month. You got it, man. You got it. Knock it off. And with all that, I see right before I got to the point where I was going to hit y'all with the Patreon, like that, 12 people dropped off the live. They saw where I was going with it. They saw where I was going with it. Bigger. 12 people. It went from like 80 to whatever. It was like 12 people that dropped off. I think it went from like 82 to 70. It went from like 82 to 70, like that. they were like, oh, this nigga about to talk about Patreon. The link is in the description. I don't know about that Patreon, bro. I'll rock with you, but $5 a month, I ain't got it. So before he even gets to that point, let me go ahead and just log off this live stream, and I don't even got to hear it, so I ain't got to feel bad about not supporting my boy. Anyways, man, let me get out of here, man. I've been out here talking for 35 minutes. It's really hot in his house, so I'm out of here, man. Show love, deuces.